Hey there, everybody. Brother Ahead here. Um, I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot to get this announced previously before I forgot to announce it ahead of time, but here it is now. Um, our February unboxing review show. Again, unless something comes up, I do this the third Friday of every month at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you join us here the third Friday of every month. Even if I forget to announce it, I plan on doing it. Like I say, unless something comes up. So enough apologizing. Let's get off the show. So I've got several things. I've got choices today here on my shelf. You see, I've got several things back there on the shelf to choose from. I was making decisions before the show, but before I get to that, I do want to give a shout out to NECA. These it's a 10 count figure display stands. I picked these up at Target. I think it was like 10, $12, I want to say, for 10 displays. And I'm using them to display my Joes, of course. I've also ordered some other ones from Amazon that should be in today. I want to check out. But these are, oops, take the stand off. There you go. Just little plastic clear stands that your figures go on. Some of my figures, you can see if they're on the top shelf, are falling down. And so I wanted to display them. You can see what they're on. Junkyard's got, or Mutt's got one. And the Viper back here's got one. And Raptor, of course, has one, but it makes it easier. I like these. Like I said, I'm trying some other ones I'm getting from Amazon. I'll let you know maybe next month how those go. But I do like these ones from NECA. Like I say, it was like, I think it was like $12 or so at Target for 10 stands. They work out pretty good. But yeah, I got the last 2 packs they had. I've got some. I haven't used them all yet. I've still got a lot of figures up there to stand on, but I'll let you know next month how the other ones go. So they should be in today. But yeah, because my figures are falling down, so I wanted to do something to display them a little properly. And if you're out there in the chat, feel free to say hi, and I can read your messages on the air or show them. And thank you, one that joins us. Looks like I've got one person on Twitch. Oh, it's probably me when I was checking it out. I'm like, oh, I got one person showing. I just pulled up Twitch real quick to make sure it's playing on there. So yes, I'm on the YouTube and on the YouTube. I sound like an old man. And I'm now displaying it also on Twitch. I'm going to try that out for a while and see how that works out for me. So let's get on to today's show. So I think I'm going to open up. I'm going to do a G.I. Joe, a Transformer, and then a DC figure, I think, today. I was going to do, I received Xandar in the mail the other day, and I was going to do him, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a Zartan family episode, maybe next month, where I'll open up Zartan, Zorana, and Xandar, because I don't think I've opened Zorana yet. I don't see her up there, so I got the Dreadnoks open, so maybe next month I'll do the Zartan family on just an episode, on a special, if you will. So today we're going to open up a G.I. Joe box. Hey, Heinz. Heinz has joined us in the chat. Thank you for joining us, buddy. He says, hi, Aaron. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you when you show up, man. So the first figure I'm going to open today is Leatherneck. I ordered this one off of Amazon. And yeah, this one came off Amazon. Him and Xandar came in the same day. So I said, I'll put up Xandar. We'll put up Xandar next month. But today we have Leatherneck. Again, the plastic packaging is back. I love it. We can see the figure. So if you want to display it like this, you can. G.I. Joe Classified Series. The top says G.I. Joe Leatherneck. It's number 148. Got the QR code down here you can scan. And on the side, we have our drawing of Leatherneck holding his gun with a knife. And on the back, we have a picture of the toy. In the background, we have scrap iron. Back here, if you can see it, there's scrap iron in the back. We get a close-up of the pin on his shirt collar and on his sleeve. And I'm trying to see what's all in the background. My eyesight's not what it used to be, but very nice. I think that's scrap iron in the back. I can't quite make it out. But that's the figure or the box for it. Let's go and open up this bad boy up. Oh, and my scissors have come up missing. I think they got took into the house. I think my kids used them, probably my child. But we'll go ahead. I got a screwdriver. Again, we'll make do. So anyone listening to this, did you guys get Leatherneck? What do you think of the figure so far? So again, we'll pull them out. Again, I throw away this plastic or this piece of paper, warnings and all that, because again, I'm Brotherhead. I don't need warnings. If I need them, I just don't listen to them. And we've got Leatherneck. He's got a change of hands. He's got fists. He's got a knife, a rifle, a handgun, and his backpack. Let's go and pull him out. And a pair of sunglasses also. So we'll pull the figure out first. And when you pull him out, be careful. His hat is removable. It comes on his head, but it is removable. So there is Leatherneck. The hat can remove. It goes on top of his head. His head moves. He's got a place here for his knife, it looks like. He's got a... I like this. He's got a little radio down on here on his belt with a little cord. I dropped his hat. I dropped the weapons. Hold on, guys. All right. The weapons to the side. There we are. I'm back. So we're going to put his hat to the side for right now while we look at him. Like he's got some little grenades on a little pouch on his vest. Again, his arms and wrists and everything moves. This one here, his arm, his shoulder, his elbow's a little tight. His elbows are a little tight. Everything else seems to be fine. Moves at the waist a little bit. Again, the vest isn't molded. It isn't part of him. It's a separate item, but it's molded around him. So you can't take it off. But it is a separate item, it looks like. So very nice. We got the hole in the back for the backpack to go into. His knees are a little stiff. He's got his camo pants. A very nice sculpt. I like the face sculpt. The face sculpt is very much Leatherneck. That screams Leatherneck to me. And just to show you real quick, one of these stands I was referring to, the figure goes in a little peg hole here. And so he can stand. I like these bases. So very nice. His hat goes on. Be careful. The hat comes off kind of easily. I mean, it doesn't, like sometimes it's molded to their hair or whatever. This one here can come off. We'll put him down and we'll go to the rest of the packaging. And we'll pull out his weapons and backpack and all that. And again, for anyone that listens to this, please send me an email to gijoe@headspeaks.com. And let me just think about this show, about the unboxing. If you guys like it, what I can do to make it better, what you don't like about what I'm doing, what I could change. I appreciate feedback from you guys. Okay, I'm going to leave the hands in there because, again, he makes fists. I'm not going to remove them for now. I'll leave them in the packaging because otherwise they'll get lost. Just removing the gun's tape, or the knife's taped in there really good. So let's go and put this down. So what I'm going to do, since I'm keeping the hands in there, I will put it back in the box. And again, I'm a bit of a collector. I've got a box full of just empty boxes. Oh, well, mostly empty boxes. They've got, some of them got some like hands and other accessories in it. So the packaging back in there so I can save that. Why I'm saving it, besides I'm keeping the hands, I don't know. But anyways, so first up, we've got his rifle. And again, I'm not a gun guy, so I'm not sure of correct names for these things. But here is his, a little bit of glare there. Not glare, but streaks. Anyways, there's his gun, his rifle. It's very nice. It's got the removable clip, like a lot of them do. You can pull the clip in and out. I like that. Makes it more realistic. Very nice. Put the clip back in there. He's got a handgun, a pistol of some sort, it looks like. And again, feel free to correct me if I name these things wrong. or if there's an actual technical name I'm missing. And then he's got his knife. So we'll put his knife in his sheath. So the knife fits in there nice and snug right there. It can come in and out. See, it goes up in his sheath very nicely. And his pistol can go down in his holster here. It goes in backwards so he can pull it out easier, I believe. There you go. His pistol's in his holster. I don't know if it was a movie or I saw that where they got it like that, so it's easier for him to reach in and pull it out. I don't know if that works out in reality or not. Someone knows more about guns, let me know. I do like he's got a watch on one hand, and again, the watch isn't molded to his arm. It's loose. It moves around on there. So it's an extra piece. It's stuck on him, but it's not tight. On this other arm, he has a bracelet of some sort, like a Fitbit or something. Again, it's another piece of little plastic that's loose on his arm. I'm just checking out this cord he's got on his belt here. It's like a little plastic cord. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be offhand, but it's very nice. And then we'll put his rifle in his hand. And there we have Leatherneck. It's a very nice sculpt. Again, I like the face. I'm going to pull his hat off. The face is a very nice face sculpt, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys have this one? Have you guys seen this one? What do you think about the character Leatherneck in general? Let me know. Again, send me an email, and you can send it to gijoe@headspeaks.com. It's gijoe@headspeaks.com. I can read it on the air. Also, if you want, you can give me 1 second as I pull things up. You can always call and leave a voicemail at our voicemail, the Headcast voicemail. It's 1-559-500-3182. And while I'm doing, I'll put his hat back on. While I'm doing this, I will say, if you guys like what I'm doing here, call and leave a message. Also, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below so you'll be notified every time I do one of these shows. But yeah, hit the like and subscribe down below. And be sure to call, send an email. You can leave a voice message there. Check out the website at headcast.headspeaks.com. Again, headcast.headspeaks.com. And we're going to move on to the next figure. Again, just to recap real quick, that was Leatherneck with his rifle. He's got a handgun, a pistol, and a knife. His hat's removable. I like it. I like this figure. I like Leatherneck. I wish I had a wetsuit out already, so I could have done wetsuit at the same time. Because again, in the cartoon at least, Leatherneck and wetsuit went together. So those are would have liked to have that. I don't think I'm going to open it today, but I also picked up at Walmart, or I'm sorry, Target's, the Beachhead retro Beachhead. It's a very nice figure. I haven't opened it yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but again, the file card. We'll talk about that later. Some other time maybe. But almost forgot his backpack. Getting ahead of myself. So Leatherneck's got his backpack on. Let's put his backpack. So on this one here, the hole is either the hole's a little small or the backpack peg's a little big. It doesn't quite fit in there quite right. So it's a little tight. I'm afraid of breaking that peg. So for Leatherneck, again, I would say it's a great figure. My only complaint about Leatherneck is the backpack peg doesn't go all the way in. Whether that's not deep enough, or it's the hole's too small, or the peg itself is too large, I'm not quite sure. I'll put it on there, but yeah, that backpack's going to fall off sooner or later. Probably sooner than later. So yeah, my only complaint so far with the Leatherneck figure is that, yeah, the backpack doesn't fit on properly. I may have to grab another backpack from another figure and see whether it's the peg or the hole. But that's it for the G.I. Joe figure. Let's move on to Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye. Yes, one of the few female Transformers figures. Whoops, the Viper I was bragging about earlier fell. That's not good. Let's fix that later. Yes, this is RC number 86-16 from Transformers the movie. Again, I say I like Transformers, but mainly I like that original G1 Transformers. Most of the Transformer stuff I haven't been very pleased with overall. But again, we have the open packaging. There's no plastic on this one, but it's open so we can see the figure. So you make sure you're getting RC in there. On the side, we got a drawing of RC, a nice drawing of her. On this side, we get the 8616. She's part of the Studio Series. So I get deluxe class. I guess there's different classes and series that the Transformers, the movie figures are in. And on the back, we show RC, we show her transformed, and we show the diagram they have with it, or the not diagram, but the the backdrop that comes with it. Again, supposedly you can do her in 18 steps. I still haven't looked up. I need to do that for one of these shows. Is the figure I'm going to open up? I'm going to have to pull up on YouTube or something, see if I can figure out how to transform them properly. Because I always have problems transforming them. And when I try to do it on the show, I look like a damn fool. So we'll pull the figure out. We're going to pull the base out right now. Papers are falling out all over the place. The instructions, whatever the, not instructions, the warning fell on the floor. I'll pick that up later and throw it away. We've got the instructions on how to transform RC. We'll put that to the side. I saved those. We got the base. It's a very nice base for RC to stand on. Very nicely done. We'll put this back over here on my shelf. And then we have RC herself. Oh, I'm going to need scissors for these. I didn't think this through properly like I normally don't. I normally have scissors out here. Like I say, I think one of my kids or someone took them and never brought them back. So we'll see if I can pop it out with the screwdriver I've got here. Not very well. So I may have to just look at the figure on here and go get a pair of scissors. I don't have commercial brakes on this, so I can't go then. So anyway, again, failing on my part, forgetting to look to make sure I had scissors out here. I can't really pull her off right now. Pull her off. Because again, I forgot to get some scissors. And I don't have my knife on me. So we'll just have to look around the packaging. It's a very nice figure. Just one second. Let me just see if I can get her off without the scissors. Ooh, wait a minute, maybe I can pull her off. Hang on one second. So I know this makes riveting YouTubing. Like I said, you can join me here. I'm talking as I'm pulling this off. You can join me here the third Friday of every month as I do my unboxing review show. And while I'm talking, also join us for the fourth Sunday of every month normally as we look at the G.I. Joe Royal American Headcast, the cartoon, and the comic book. And as I've said before, I'm still working on this next month. In May, I'm going to see if I can fit a second recording date in. Because again, Bravo team, especially this next episode, lines up directly with the comic book. So I need to have that come out also. So, okay, so I was able to pull it off. So first what I'm going to do, because again, I am anal. I will put this back in the box. And again, both the leather neck and the RC boxes will go in a box of boxes I've got over there. Yes, I have issues. And anyways, this is RC. Very lovely female lady robots. Her head moves, her arms move, bends at the legs, the knees, the ankles. A large part of her, because again, she's a car. She's got this large body on the back. I would have to rewatch the, yeah, because yeah, on the box doesn't particularly show quite. I don't know, maybe it does. I'll have to look at the cartoon again. I forget if she has this big car body on the back of her back like this. I know they got to do what they got to do to make the figure work, but you know what? Unless you guys are in a hurry, we're going to take a minute. Actually, I want to try one thing, a couple things here real quick. I want to see if these peg stands work. Do they have holes in their feet? Somewhat, but no, it doesn't stand with these. But these guys pretty much stand on their own. So I'm not so much worried about the Transformers because they've been standing up. I got them behind me. You can see some of them on the shelf behind me. So let's take a look at the instructions. So again, she's got her gun that she can hold in her hand. Let's see if she can hold her gun. Her gun is a little loose in her hand. So yeah, I'm pulling down my chest. You can't see it. Her gun doesn't really go in her hand properly. Her fingers are too loose, and you can't really bend them in. So first complaint for RC. Okay, kind of to the side. She can't hold it straight, but she's holding it kind of to the side. It'll go in. Otherwise, it's really just too loose in her hand. So I'm going to try one more time this episode to see if we can transform RC. I won't bore you guys for too long. I will try for a moment and see if we can transform it. If you guys have suggestions, feel free to let me know. So we'll pull the gun out of her hand. According to the instructions, her head goes down and the body goes up over her head. It goes down, body goes up. And again, these are made for kids. Maybe I'm just too old for it. Maybe that's my problem. Yeah, see, I can't quite figure this out. Oh, there we are. Okay. Her head goes in, and the chest piece or whatever goes up and forms the front of the car. There we go. Okay, so we got that part done. I've got one step out of 18 done. Yahoo! I think this goes up. Yeah, I can't figure this. I'm gonna have to find a YouTube video on how to properly transform these figures and do it that way. Because again, I'm a little incompetent when it comes to transforming Transformers. And I blame the fact that I didn't have them growing up. So I was in a G.I. Joe. So for now, we're going to put her back into default mode, into robot mode. And we will give her a gun back, and I will get her back on the shelf there behind me. I'll post a picture once I get it. I need to organize a little bit more, but I'll post a picture on the Facebook group, facebook.com/ I'll probably post it on my G.I. Joe. I'll post it on both. So it's facebook.com/groups/G.I. Joe and facebook.com/groups/Hipcast Network. Sorry, choked up a little bit. But there's RC. Like I said, the only complaint so far, besides the fact that I can't transform these damn things, is that the gun is a little loose in her hand. So that is RC. Did you guys get RC? What do you guys think about RC both the toy and as in the cartoon. I don't recall if she showed up in the comic or not. I'm sure she showed up somewhere, but I mainly read the 80s comic. I don't recall if she showed up in there offhand. If you guys remember offhand, let me know. Send me a message. And we'll move on to the third figure for the day. Again, it's only 1:30 my time. Going through this rather quickly, partly because I would take too long transforming the damn things. So the next figure will be a DC figure. We're going to open up Animal Man. Again, we got the plastic packaging. It's the gold label. It's the DC Multiverse. On the side, it says Animal Man. This side says Animal Man, the Human Zoo. My first experience with Animal Man is, as I've talked about previously over my Headcast network, I believe it was, on my Head Speaks. Back when I first got into comics, a friend of mine gave me a huge box of old school comics. And I believe there was an Action Comics with the Forgotten Heroes, and Animal Man was in there. That was my first experience with them. And then in the late 80s, there was a DC had put out a new series with Animal Man. And I picked that up because that came out right when I started collecting comics. So I picked that up and I enjoyed that, especially the first 2 years. After I started getting a little weird, and the weirder it got, the less I liked it. Because again, as I said, I prefer for the most part, the more standard regular superheroes. When it gets too weird, for the most part, that's where I kind of draw the line. I'll still read it for a while, but it's not as enjoyable to me. I like him as a superhero. On the back, we get a picture of Animal Man, the Human Zoo. A very nice drawing with him and a bird. He's got his jacket on in here. That's how he was in the 80s series. He had that jacket on. Unless it's hid, it looks like this figure doesn't come with the jacket. But let's go ahead and pull it out and see. So we'll pull that out first, and then we'll pull the backing board out. Put the box to the side. So again, the box got some artwork in the back. Just blue scale. It's got some pictures of superhero comics. There's World Best Comic on this one. The death of Superman. So it's got a handful of various comic images on the back, covers on the background. One thing I like about the McFarlane figures is that they do come with stands. They also come with a little card, a trading card. I'm saving these, and I've got a binder back here I put them in. So we'll put this to the side because I'm going to save that. And real quick, a couple of things. Let me see something. Oh, I haven't pulled them out yet. Okay, we'll hold off. So here's the card. It shows the picture from the back of Animal Man. On the back, it's got some information. Data file, real name Buddy Baker. Debuting in the mid-'80s, Animal Man was born after an alien visitation. After a stint as a member of the Forgotten Heroes, Buddy became a founding member of the Just League Europe. In his own title, he discovered his true origins and even broke the fourth wall, meeting the writer of his exploits. Animal Man became an ambassador of the Red, at one point changing his look with long black and white hair. But anyways, that's Animal Man. And again, I'm going to cover Animal Man, the series, at least the first 2 years somewhere on the Headcast network. I'm still debating whether I'm going to do its own show or just do it on a Head Speaks. Leaning maybe towards Head Speaks for this one. But Animal Man. I'll mention it here briefly. It mentions that he broke the fourth wall and met his creator. That actually comes back later. The creator, Alan Moore, I want to say it was. Or Grant Morrison. That's what it was, Grant Morrison. He entered the comic, and then he became a character himself called the Rider, which appeared in the Suicide Squad, which I've recently talked about over my Task Force X podcast. So I wanted to mention that. So I wanted to shout out for Task Force X. And yeah, Grant Morrison entered the DC Comics, became an actual character, and then he got used elsewhere. So I like that. Anyways, we'll talk about Animal Man elsewhere. Keep an eye out. It may show up on Head Speaks here shortly. That's what I'm thinking about. So first thing we're going to do is, again, he's tied in a plastic packaging or tape. At least, let me see. 1 second. I really should have gotten some scissors, kids. See if I can pop this without scissors. See, because he's a little more firmly in there. Not only does he have the plastic holding him in, but he's in this plastic that's holding him together. So we'll see. I may have to disappear for a moment and get a pair of scissors. Because yeah, I'm not having much luck trying to break this with a screwdriver. So hold on tight 1 second, kids. I will be right back. Let's focus on. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to fall. My Firestorm Friday shirt, got Firestorm on it. Very nice. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at my background here, kids. And I'll be right back with a pair of scissors. Behold the wonders of Manland. All right, yeah, brother, head's back. Back in the house. His house. Okay, sorry about disappearing on you guys. I'm about to buy a pair of scissors for Manland. Anyways, let's get back in the frame. Animal Man, that's where we were at. Sorry about that. I'm back. So we're going to cut this critter out. We're going to try to cut this critter out. I don't want to scratch him up or anything. There we are. So he comes with a, what the hell that is? So it's a molded animal of some sort. I don't know if it's a, I'm really bad at animals, almost like a bear / weasel type thing. I don't know. If you guys know what that is, let me know, because maybe, I don't know, it looks too fat to be a wolf. I'm not quite sure what this animal's supposed to be. I'm a bit of an idiot sometimes. Let me know what you guys think. But we'll move on to Animal Man. I've got scissors so I can cut him out now. He's firmly in place. He's not going to come out accidentally. Which is a good thing. There we are. I'm going to try to cut him out. And again, whoops, let me see. We have used the noise. There we are. Buddy is free. Here's Buddy Baker. This must be more from the later on when he actually would take on animal forms, I believe. Again, when I read him in the late 80s, he didn't take on any, he didn't change shapes. He used their abilities. He moves at the legs, the feet, I can't really see it that well. The toes move. The legs move. He moves at the waist. The arms move. The head moves around. Very nice face sculpt. I like that face sculpt for Buddy. I like his uniform. I just wish he had the blue jacket like he is in the picture. Again, because me that's classic Buddy Baker, or maybe make it removable. Um, like I said, I don't like the claw on him, the hand, because again, normally in the comics, he didn't transform his hand, or he didn't transform the ones I read that I liked. There, he just would use their powers. He could fly, much like Vixen over in Justice League. She had the same type of powers as Animal Man does. And I don't know if it was before that, but I know in the 80s comic, the late 80s, they mentioned he tapped into the metagenic field. And then I think they retconned that and said he tapped into the red because they were tying him more in with Swamp Thing. So we're going to pull one of his hands off. And what I'm going to do, if I can, is replace this hand. Because again, I don't care for the transforming hand myself. So let me see if I can pop his hand off. Make sure I got the right hand. Yeah, that's right. So he's got different hands. So in theory, I should be able to pop this hand off. Oh, hand pops right off. We'll put that to the side. And we'll put a regular hand on instead. He's got his judo fist hand. There we are. So there he is. There's Buddy Baker. Again, I like that I was able to move his hand off because, again, I don't care much for the transforming hand. Because, again, to me, Buddy Baker doesn't normally transform into animals. He just uses their powers. I know it's comic accurate later on he did, but it's not the one I liked or really followed as much. So, like I say, his arms move. I like his hair. He's got the little flourish there. It's not molded to his head. I mean, it's the hair is kind of, it's not loose. It's hard plastic, but it kind of goes out and it's away from his head. It's not molded directly onto his head. He's got the classic goggles. Well, I say my only complaint is that he doesn't have his blue jacket like he wore like in the picture and that I'm more familiar with in the comic. I mean, sometimes, yeah, he wouldn't wear the jacket, but usually in the 80s run that I read, the late 80s, by Grant Morrison, he wore his blue jacket most of the time. That's one to check out. These NECA stands. And yes, he does stand. I mean, he's got his own stand, but if I needed to, he stands on there also. So very nice. But he comes with, because again, McFarlane is very nice. They give us little stands. He's got the little, if you can see it, DC logo etched on there, DC bullets. And again, he stands on the stand. And very nice. There's Animal Man, one of my top, probably usually one of my top 10 DC characters. I really like Animal Man, especially in, I say, Grant Morrison's run. I thought he did a great job humanizing him and making you care about him. But yeah, that's Animal Man. I'm gonna see if he'll stand up for me, or will he fall? Again, I got a shelf in my place. I got a place on my shelf over here for DC figures. So stand him up there and let's turn the camera so you can see him. Very nice. I like that. I will pet him on the shelf as I knock him on the ground. I will pet him on the shelf. Again, if you guys like this, feel free to leave a comment. I will try to get back to you. Send me an email to animalman@headspeaks.com. Anything at headspeaks.com will turn up at my mailbox. So if you want to talk about Animal Man, send me an email to animalman@headspeaks.com. And be watching, because again, I'm going to be covering this somewhere, the series. At least the first 26 issues when Grant left. I don't know about after that. It was okay, but I really enjoyed it because, again, they started getting weird and then eventually became part of the Vertigo universe. And it was still a decent book, but it wasn't as great as the first part of it, in my opinion. So did you guys read Animal Man? Let me know. Animalman@headspeaks.com. And you know what? It's only been about 40 minutes, but we're going to end this rather early today. Heinz, thank you very much for joining us in the chat, buddy. It's always good to see. I like seeing your name pop on there. Very nice. Thank you very much. You're a big supporter of the show and the network, and I appreciate it. And anyone else listening to this and watching this, thank you very much for joining us. Like I said, you can call. There's a number at the bottom of the screen. If you're watching this, 559-500-3182. That's the Headcast voicemail line. Feel free to jump on there and send me a message. I can play it on the air, or you can send me an email to head@headspeaks.com. Let me know what you think about this show. What can I do to improve it? What do you like? What do you not like about what I'm doing? I'm always eager on ways to improve my podcast and my YouTube for people. So again, I've done intros and openings, intros and outros for my shows to make it a little more spectacular. I'm trying to do a little bit more on here to make people enjoy it and try to bring people to both my YouTube channel, which I don't do a lot with, but I do have it, and my podcast. So, and be sure to check out my podcast. Right now, normally the first Tuesday of the month, I have an episode of Head Speaks. The second Tuesday of the month, I have an episode of Task Force X. And the third Tuesday, I have the Starman Adventure Show. Both of those, the Starman Adventure Show and Task Force X, will probably be ending this year sometime. I'm getting close to the end of both of those runs. I'm enjoying them, and they're sadly coming to an end. So join us there. Over on Thursdays, the first Thursday of the month, normally I have that reserved for the Starbright Project, a show I do with the wife. Currently, it's been on hiatus because we had band stuff interfering, and now we're just trying to get back into the scheme of things. We look at the TV show Quantum Leap. Again, as I talked about before, it started off, I'm a longtime Quantum Leap fan, and I've got another friend of mine, Hayden McQueenie from Australia, that's also a longtime fan. And then Michelle's a first-time viewer. So we get her first-time thoughts on it. And then they came out with a new season or two of it. So we put the original show on hold so we jumped on the new one. We did the first, I think it was 8 episodes of that. And Michelle's not feeling that one as much. So we're going back to the original showing at this point, the original series. And then the second Tuesday of the month, I released G.I. Joe, a Roller American Headcast, where I talk about the cartoon and the comic from the late 80s, early 90s. The third Thursday of the month, I have G.I. Joe, the Energon Protocols. Sorry for the mind turning off there for a second. I was making sure I was on the right days. But yeah, pull that up a little bit. The third Thursday should be the Energon Protocols. That is where Renegade Studios has a G.I. Joe role-playing game. My great game master, Eric Smith, has gathered me and a couple other guys. We may have a new guy joining us, possibly. We're looking into it. But we play the role-playing game, and I release it as a podcast. Right now, we're playing it every other Thursday. I'm only releasing it monthly right now just because of editing time and until I get some things in my life straightened out. But you hear Junkyard out there in the back. And then the fourth Thursday of the month, we have Bravo Team. Again, we're looking at anything else G.I. Joe related. Right now, we're really looking at the special missions because especially this, as I said earlier, this next episode ties into, or the next issue ties into the main book. So join us. They're available wherever most podcasts are at. And you can also go to headcast.headspeaks.com. Thought someone was coming, but we've recently moved the doggy door from going into the house directly to go through the garage door into the garage, and then from the garage door into the house to try to help keep some of the dirt off from the dogs. So it's like I'm running through. I'm like, is someone coming? Oh, that's the dog running through. Anyways, join me here next month when I will probably do a Zartan family special looking at Zorana, Zartan, and Xandar. Gotta find Zorana. I'm not sure where she's at. I don't think I've opened her yet. I don't see her on the shelf. So she must be in a box. I'll have to go through my boxes of toys over here and see where Zorana's at. so I can do her next month. But yeah, next month we'll look at the Zartan family on this show. Again, the third Friday of the month at 1:00 p.m. Pacific time. So next month, unless something comes up, I should be here on the 21st, March the 21st. So feel free to join us here. Call the number, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I'm getting better at this, I think. And let me know what you think. Until next time, remember, Head has spoken. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.